Are you guys tired of cheap looking keyboards, or keyboards that are just too thin, or keyboards that make loud noises, or keyboards that have lame looking RGB? Well, don't worry, because I have found the right keyboard for you.
Hi, my name is Lukman Hayan and I'm from SMK Sultan Ismail aka SSI. Today, I will be reviewing the Razer Cynosa V2 keyboard.
Starting with the build quality, this thing is made with some really high quality plastic with some really nice rough texture. As you can see from here, there is the Razer logo embedded right onto the center of the keyboard. One thing I do like about the keyboard is that it maintains this low profile, as you can see from the shape of the keyboard.
Behind this keyboard, they have this three-layered pathway, okay? They got the right, they got the middle, and they got the left, okay? This thing allows for easy cable management, okay? Another thing I like to point out is they have these two clippers, okay? They have these two clippers, which basically allows the keyboard to stand either 45 to 90 degrees upwards on top of the table. This allows the keyboard to stand the way you would want.
Keep in mind that this keyboard is a wired keyboard and it uses a USB cable that actually looks really good with the green thing inside.
This keyboard right here is only worth 150 ringgit. Now, keep in mind that this keyboard is a membrane keyboard. It's not like the mechanical keyboard like the Huntsman series. However, with that kind of price point, you can't really expect much of a great mechanical keyboard. But at the same time, you can expect a really great membrane keyboard. This is considered a budget gaming keyboard, okay? And for that, it's actually worth your bang. Now, the benefits of having a membrane keyboard is that this thing right here is as low profile like I mentioned before. In other words, this thing is really quiet. Now, we all know that mechanical keyboards are really loud, but let me prove to you how quiet this is by moving on into the sound testing session.
There's no doubt that this is definitely not a mechanical keyboard, so it doesn't give that mechanical feeling. However, it does a really great job in terms of being a membrane keyboard, and in terms of gameplay, it is really good because it has this 1000 points hertz rate, which is actually very responsive in terms of playing games like Forza Horizon 5. One of my favorite features about this keyboard is that it has its own media play button, It has the pause, the resume button, the mute button, and it also has the volume rocker, where you can finally adjust the volume using your own keyboard.
Okay, moving on into my favorite part, which is the RGBs. This keyboard is just amazing. The keyboard's RGB is just French kiss, This is because it has 11 different types of RGB, which is why the software comes into play.
Taking a look at the Razer software, which is called Razer Synapse, if I go to lighting here and go to Chroma Studio, this is where I am able to customize the RGBs. Let's just say I click the letter D, yeah? It creates that very nice RGB effect, which is called ripple. Now, they also have other modes, such as, which in my personal favorites are waves, starlight, fire, and spectrum cycling. Now, of course, you can definitely play around with the RGB, which in this scenario, I have combined 3 different types of RGB, which is ripple, starlight, and wheel, to create and customize my own personal favorite RGB in my own keyboard. Moving on to the gaming mode of the software, I find it a bit useless because all it does is it disables the Windows key, disables the Alt tab, and disables the Alt F4, which I do not use at all. But let's just say you do want to turn it on. They have the always on button, and you can also always enable it in-game. Another thing about this keyboard is that it has its own FN layer. From here, you can trigger the macro mode, the gaming mode, and adjust the brightness of the keyboard. They also have this one extra keycap, which is called the pause break, in which I am able to send the laptop to sleep with one click away.
Compared to its competitors like the Cynosa Lite and the Cynosa Chroma, this thing is really not much of a big difference. For example, the Cynosa Lite is basically like the Cynosa V2 but with a terrible RGB, whereas the Cynosa Chroma is basically a mechanical version and a lot more expensive version of the Cynosa V2. Do I recommend this keyboard? Absolutely. If you're trying to find a budget-friendly gaming membrane keyboard, this has to be your first choice. That's all for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.